What's going on, guys? Arms Foreman coming at you today. In today's video, we got going on preview week 15 with the Buffalo Bills coming to Detroit, Ford Field, Detroit Lions. 12-1 first place, Detroit Lions. Buffalo Bills 10-3 first place in their AFC East. Is this a Super Bowl preview? Possibly, but this is going to be a banger of a game. Two heavyweights going at it. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this football game. It's 4:25 start at Ford Field tomorrow during the day. A little bit different for Ford Field. Usually it's those 1 o'clock starts, but we got a 4:25 p.m. start tomorrow. Let's get to some injuries. We start with the road team going first. That's how we do it. Cornerback Rasul Douglas has a knee injury, did not practice. He is ruled out in this football game. Their secondary is a little bit banged up. Defensive end Dwayne Smoot, wrist, full practice. He is questionable. Safety Taylor Rapp, neck, limited practice, questionable. Tight end Quentin Morris, shoulder, limited practice. Well, actually full practice, and he's questionable. Tight end Dalton Kincaid, who's been out for a while. He's a really good tight end. He's got a knee injury, full practice, questionable. I'm sure he'll be testing that out. Safety Damar Hamlin, back injury, limited practice. He is questionable as well. Offensive tackle Tylen Grable, groin injury, full practice, questionable. Defensive end Casey Toohill, ribs, limited practice. He is questionable. Linebacker Balin Spector with a calf injury, full practice. He's questionable as well. Then you got wide receiver Curtis Samuel, kind of came from the Washington Commanders over there, I think during the offseason. Pretty sure it's only his first year. Foot injury, full practice, no injury designation. Looks like he's going. Linebacker Matt Milano, who's a pretty good linebacker himself, a starter. You know, they got a nice little trio of linebackers on the Buffalo Bills. Bicep injury, he was a full practice, no injury designation. He'll be good to go. Wide receiver Amari Cooper, who was traded from the Cleveland Browns during this season, 2024. Wrist injury, full practice, no injury designation. Wide receiver, the rookie Keon Coleman, with a wrist injury, full practice, no injury designation. And then defensive tackle Dwayne Carden, I think that's his name there. Wrist injury as well, full practice, no injury designation. Now let's get to the Lions. We got a lot of guys back, but we got some guys obviously a little bit nicked up, guys on IR. We still got a ton of guys on IR, hopefully coming back within the next 3-4 weeks down the road, playoffs, all that stuff. But linebacker Trevor Nowatzki, who's been filling in pretty nicely at the linebacker spot, getting snaps. He was concussed. He did not practice. He is labeled out for this football game. Nose tackle DJ Reader, shoulder, full practice, no injury designation. He missed last week as well. Defensive tackle Josh Pascal, knee injury, full practice, no injury designation. He missed last week. He's back. Defensive lineman Levi Onwuzurike, can play on the inside, can bounce it out on the outside as well. Hamstring, full practice, no injury designation. And then defensive tackle Lee McNeil, who was concussed last week. Our big money defensive tackle that they paid a lot of money to. He was in and out of that game, and eventually he just left that Packer game. He was a full practice. He is a go for tomorrow. And then left tackle Taylor Decker with that knee and shoulder problems right there. Full practice, no injury designation. So he's back too after missing a couple games. Dan Skipper filling in pretty nicely for him too as well. So that's good to have Decker back. It looks like their run game struggled a little bit without Taylor Decker, and it's good to have the big fella back. But Skipper did a great job. Now let's go to the rosters, guys. Buffalo, we go first because, obviously they're the road team, so that's how we started. Let's go to the offense. Quarterback Josh Allen, superstar. He is an absolute, he's an MVP candidate. Could be in the front runner right now in the NFL for 2024. There's a few guys in there. Jared Goff being one of them, I think, as well too. Josh Allen has been Superman. He's been Superman in the past. He's been Superman in the future and the present. His last couple games, he's done some wild things for that Bills offense. 6 touchdowns last week, threw for 3. I think he ran for 3. Week before, he caught one, threw one, passed for 1. Something that's never ever been done in a win too as well. Last week they lost a crazy game 42-44 against the Rams. Josh Allen was a big part of that. And they got running back James Cook, Ty Johnson, former Detroit Lion, and rookie Ray Davis. It's a nice little trio. James Cook is their guy, though. The wide receiver rookie Keon Coleman, Amari Cooper, Khalil Shakir is a guy they got to look out for. Matt Collins and Curtis Samuel kind of rounded it off right there. They got three. I think they got three or four really good wide receivers too. Coleman, he's a rookie. He has some struggles. He's had some big games. Cooper has got a good, NFL resume. Shakir's really good in the slot. Matt Collins is a big wide receiver, kind of plays that Josh Reynolds, Tim Patrick type role. It does really good for them. And then tight end Dawson Knox, and then Dalton Kincaid. Nice 1-2 punch. If Kincaid's going, that is a problem for the Lions. Then they got a really good old line too. Left tackle Deion Dawkins. Dawkins is one of the better left tackles in the NFL today. Left guard David Edwards. Center Connor McGovern. And then right guard Osiris Torrance, who I really loved in the draft last year. And then right tackle Spencer Brown. It's a good old line. They don't give up a lot of sacks to Allen. Allen escapes a lot of stuff too as well. But it's a good old line. It's very underrated. Now let's go to the defense. I really like defensive end Greg Rousseau coming out of the draft a few years back. He started off really hot. It's kind of been hot and cold his last few games, though. He's kind of turned it on, and he's starting to get to the quarterback a little bit more. Nose tackle Daquan Jones. Defensive tackle Ed Oliver. Defensive end AJ Epinesa. A good front four, a little bit undersized a bit, but they don't get to the quarterback a lot. But they're quick off the ball. They don't play the run that great, but they do some things overall. Linebacker Matt Milano with Dorian Williams. They kind of rounded off there at linebacker with another linebacker and Terrell Bernard, who I really like. Like I said, I like those three linebackers they got. Cornerback Christian Benford, a strong safety DeMar Hamlin. He's a little bit banged up. Could it be Cam Lewis? Free safety Taylor Rapp. They got a rookie Cole Bishop in there who could be coming in and out as well. Cornerback Jamarcus Ingram. Rasul Douglas out, so they're missing one of their corners, probably their best corner in Rasul Douglas, and then nose nickel cornerback Teron Johnson. So I like their defense. I think they have a much better pass defense than they do a run defense. You can run on these guys, I think, a little bit, but they do have some good players that I do like on that team, though. I really like their trio of linebackers. I really do, and I like Greg Rousseau. And then punter Sam Martin. You guys know him. He's been a Detroit Lion in the past, and then kicker Tyler Bass. Now go to the Lions. You guys know the Lions. Quarterback Jared Goff. We'll go through it really quick. Running back Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Craig Reynolds. Wide receivers Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Tim Patrick had a huge day last week. Allen Robinson and probably Maurice Alexander is on the roster now as our primary punt returner, kick returner, whatever they're going to use him at. And he's like their fifth wide receiver. Tight end Sam Laporta, Brock Wright rounded it off. Left tackle Taylor Decker back. Dan Skipper backing him up. And then left guard Graham Glasgow, center Frank Ragnow. Right guard Kevin Ziegler, and right tackle the monster, the legend, Penei Sewell. Then go to the defense. Got some guys back, which is nice. Defensive end Josh Pascal, Al Quadra Mohammed kind of has been filling in nicely there. Nose tackle DJ Reader back. Pat O'Connor had a very nice game last week versus the Packers. Defensive tackle Alim McNeil back. Levi Buzarike kind of hanging around. Defensive end Zadarius Smith, and Zadarius Smith just got fined for smacking, I guess, Jordan Love in the helmet last week. It was one of the non-calls that the Packer fan base is crying like a bunch of whiny babies. He got fined for it. I thought he barely grazed them. That probably could have been called. Probably going to be called, but I think he got fined like $6,000 plus or something like that, $5,000, whatever it was, $4,000. But he did get hit today with a fine. Middle linebacker, or just linebacker all in general, man, we got Ezekiel Turner, David Long Jr. will be kind of going right there on that will side. Linebacker Jack Campbell, Quan Alexander getting in there. You're going to see some Jamal Adams. He just got called up again for the second time onto the roster, so expect him to be on the roster anytime soon, within the next week or so. They're probably going to have to sign him, because there's a rule that you can get called up 3 times from the practice squad, and after that, it's either you get sent back to the practice squad, cut, or you get signed to the roster. And that's it. You can't get called up the 4th time. It's either you're on the roster or you're not, pretty much. So, Ben Neiman kind of going there. I think there's still going to be a little bit of a mix of linebackers going in and out with Turner, Long, Campbell, Alexander, Jamal Adams and Ben Neiman. So you're going to see 4 or 5 of those guys rotating in and out. Cornerback Carlton Davis III, who's playing really well. Strong safety Kirby Joseph. Free safety Brian Branch, who haven't had a pick in a while. Those guys will be getting all their INTs. And it's been 3-4 games since those guys have gotten a pick. So I'm expecting something this week. And then cornerback rookie Terrion Arnold. And then nickel corner, Amik Robertson. Will Emmanuel Mosley suit up for this game? He's been ready to go for the past couple of weeks. He tweaked a hamstring a couple of weeks ago in Bears pregame against the Bears. And then he was all of a sudden not playing. Then he was a healthy scratch last week. It just seems like, what's going on with this guy? Will he dress tomorrow? And then punter Jack Fox is a good one. And then place kicker Jake Bates, who's having a really nice year or two as well, coming from the UFL, the Michigan Panthers. Now let's go to the NFL team rankings. We'll go the offense first. Bills, obviously. Bills got 355 total yards of offense. That ranks 10th in the NFL. They run for 125.7. That rushing per game, that puts them at 11th. You know, Josh Allen's obviously in there as well too. James Cook still is a good running back. They rush per game, per rush, 4.5 yards a rush. That's tied for 7th. They pass for 229.3 yards. That's 12th in the NFL. QBR rating of 101.6. That's 6th in the NFL for Josh Allen. They've only given up 13 sacks this year. That's number 1 in the NFL. So that's really good. That's great O-line play. And that's Josh Allen escaping the pocket, escaping defenders' arms and everything like that, which he's phenomenal at. Probably the best in the NFL that I've seen in a long time. Even better than Lamar, in my opinion. Just he's stronger. It feels like he's just as fast. He's powerful. He does everything you want in a running quarterback. 13 sacks they've given up all year. That has a lot to do with the O-line and a lot to do with Josh Allen himself. Third down percentage, that's turning third downs into first downs at 43.4%. That's tied for 7th in the NFL, which is excellent. They possession, 29 minutes, 40 seconds. That's 22nd in the NFL. I thought that'd be a little bit higher, to be honest with you. Points per game, they score 30.5 points a game. That's number 2 in the NFL. So it's an excellent offense. They do everything well. Josh Allen's not having a crazy numbers year through the air, but he's cutting down on interceptions. He's still throwing touchdowns. But the picks are what really has killed him in the past. He's not doing that this year. He's not doing that. He doesn't have a lot. He doesn't have a lot of interceptions. He's taking care of the football. It took him a long time. You know, it took him a little bit to get to that, and it looks like he's kind of doing that this year. So he hasn't given up a lot of INTs. He throws some every now and then, but not like he used to in the past. Now we go to the Lions. Total yards per game, 394.8 yards. That's number 2 in the NFL. Rushing per game, 151.1 yards a game. That's 4th in the NFL. Per rush, 4.6. That's 6th in the NFL. We're passing for 243.8 yards a game. Number 4 in the NFL. QBR rating of 110.4. That's number 2 in the NFL. Goff having a fantastic year there. Sacks, we've given up 25 sacks on the year. That's tied for 7th. Third down percentages, turning thirds into first, is at a 45.8% clip. That's number 4 in the NFL. We're possessing the ball at 32 minutes, 21 seconds per average per game. That's number 2 in the NFL. And we're scoring 32.1 points a game. That's number 1 in the NFL. So 2 offensive juggernauts right here. You can't go wrong. This is going to be a shootout at the OK Corral. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a big game. First one to 50 wins. Let's just put it that way. This is going to be a big game, man, on both sides of the ball. I don't really see a lot of defense being played here. No disrespect to the Bills or to the Lions. Now, defensively, let's talk about that. Bills first. Yards per game. They're giving up 332 total yards a game. That's 14th in the NFL for the Bills. They're giving up on the ground per game, 123.1 yards a game, 19th. Per rush, 4.7 yards per rush against. That's tied for 29th. Passing against, 208 yards, 0.9. That's 9th in the NFL. That's really good. QBR rating of 89.9 against. That's 13th in the NFL. Sacks, they have 29 on the year. That's tied for 28th. They don't get to the quarterback. They're a lot like us. Not a lot of sacks. Get some pressures here and there. But they don't sack the quarterback. They don't get home a lot. They're almost like us there in that aspect of the game. And then 32, and then third down percentages, that's third downs against. Teams are converting 43.2% of third downs turning into first. That's number 7 in the NFL. Possession per game, 30 minutes, 19 seconds is when they're on the field as much. The defense, 22nd in the NFL for the Bills. And they're giving up a good 20.6 points a game. That's 6th in the NFL. So they're really good against the pass. You can run on this team a little bit, and they don't give up a lot of points. They don't give up a lot of points, man. So they got some good things and some bad things going on there. They're on the field, I think, quite a bit though. Over 30 minutes per average per game. So, we can get them there in that aspect too as well. Then the Lions, total yards, 318.6 yards total. That's 10th in the NFL. Rush per game, 93.9 yards per game against. That's 5th in the NFL. Per rush, 4.3 yards per rush. That's tied for 6th. Passing per game, we give up 224.7 yards. That's 24th in the NFL. That's still a little bit of our Achilles heel there. QBR rating of 76.5. So, we give it up a lot of yards, but quarterbacks aren't having a ton of success against us. 76.5, that's number 1 in the NFL, man. So that's number 1 against quarterbacks in the NFL. That's excellent. We have 31 sacks on the year. It's only 2 more than the Bills. We're tied for 27th. Third down percentage, that's teams converting thirds into first on us at a 31.2% clip. That's number 1 in the NFL. So we're getting off the field the best in the NFL on third downs, which is excellent. And then possession, we're on the field at 27 minutes and 59 seconds per average. That's number 2 in the NFL, which is excellent as well. And then we're giving up 18 points a game, and that's tied for 2nd in the NFL right there. So, we're doing some things still with this makeshift defense. Aaron Glenn's doing wonders right now. Like I've said in the past, with this defense, it's a makeshift. We're going up against some really good quarterbacks coming up, and Josh Allen is no exception. He's one of the greater ones in the NFL today, and this is going to be a tough game. I believe that let's talk about the spread and the game and all that jazz and stuff. I believe this game was at the last I seen this game. I think it was at 2.5 spread in favor of the Detroit Lions. So I've seen that 3. I think 3.5. A little bit ago. It's starting to go a little bit down, in favor of the Bills. I think people are betting heavier on the Buffalo Bills. Same thing happened last week against the Packers. I seen that spread at 6.5 at one point, and I think it ended up turning out to be 5.5 in favor of the Packers losing the football game. Detroit Lions winning by 5.5. But people were betting the Packers, because there's not a lot of trust, or there's not a lot of faith in a lot of people thinking the Lions are going to win this football game. This is going to be one of those games, I think, like I predicted last week. It's going to be, it could be a team of whoever scores the 50 wins first. One of those games, you know what I mean? Score 40 plus points. I would not be surprised if 40 points were scored each on this football team. Like another game like the Buffalo Bills just had with the Rams a week ago. 44-42 LA. That's what it kind of feels like to me. Now, their offense, like I said, is a juggernaut with Josh Allen. He's Superman. He's doing things that are unheard of. He's a big kid. He can run. He can throw. Probably got the strongest arm in the NFL, or one of the strongest arms in the NFL. You're not going to be able to stop Josh Allen. You can only contain him. If they can put a stop to him, for a limited time, that'd be great. I don't expect it. You got to keep him inside the rushing lanes because he likes to pull the ball in, and he likes to go. He does it a lot. He's got a bunch of touchdown runs. He's got a bunch of yards. It's part of his game. It really is. And he's got some really good wide receivers going at it right now. Shakir is a legit wide receiver. Mac Hollins is good. Amari Cooper has got that great resume. They got the kid and Keon Coleman. Good tight ends, and Knox and Kincaid. It's a juggernaut of an offense in Buffalo. It really is. So, who's going to be on who? Your guess is as good as mine. We still, I think our secondary is going to be able to hold up. We're going to have to try to get to Josh Allen. Is that going to happen? I don't really think so. Like I said, that Buffalo team does not give up a ton of sacks. Number one in the NFL against. They've given up 13 sacks as a unit. That's not just the O-line, though. It's Josh Allen himself. So they do good in that aspect of the football game. I don't expect a lot of sacks. I don't expect the Lions to get him much. Hopefully you get him 2-3 times. You'd be lucky to get that because he's such a stud running the football. So, and then you got to look out for James Cook, Ray Davis. They got Ty Johnson in there who catches a lot of passes out of the backfield. It's a really good offense, man. And I'm expecting this defense to do what they're doing. Play the run really well. Give up a bunch of yards through the air, which they've kind of been doing. They gave up 3 touchdowns. I believe was it 2, 3, one or two passes from Jordan Love. I know they let 3 in through the ground, but let's see what they do through the air with Josh Allen. If you go look at some of his games, Josh Allen, he's not blowing anybody out of the water with his numbers. Like his numbers aren't great until a little bit lately. With his touchdowns, his touchdown runs. So I'm hoping just to hold the guy under 40 points. That's basically what I'm hoping for. Now, if I was a defensive coordinator, I'm not telling my guys that, but I'm telling my guys what they need to do. You need to contain him. You need to contain him. You need to kind of limit him as much as you can. Are they going to do a spy? I doubt it. That's not what Aaron Glenn does. A lot of people talking about, well, just spy him. Who are you spying him with? You're not going to spy him with Branch. You're not going to spy him with Kirby. You're not going to spy him with one of these linebackers. You're just going to run right by these linebackers. He's running by any linebacker we got out there. That's not even a question. No linebacker that we have on our team is going to be able to keep up with him running the football. He's either going to run over you, or he's going to run around you, or run through you. That's just basically what it is. There's not a lot of linebackers that can run with this kid. There's not. So you got to limit him. You got to limit the offense as best as you can. And I'm praying that we do. Now, offensively, like I've said in every video that I've done every damn week, I will put our offense against any defense in the NFL. And like I said, they have a very good defense. They do some things really well on that defense. Stopping the run isn't one of them. They really struggle with stopping the run. And if you're a good running team, you're going to be able to run on them, obviously. And we have 2 of the best going at it tomorrow with Gibbs and David Montgomery. Get those 2 rolling. Get those 2 guys going. I expect big games from both those guys tomorrow. Big yardage, touchdowns from both of them. And Goff, they do have a good secondary over there in Buffalo. They're a little bit banged up. Who isn't? But I think they can score on them through the air as well. They don't give up a lot of points. 20.6 points a game for the Buffalo Bills. It's very impressive. But Goff, I think he can do it. We have weapons everywhere with Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Sam Laporta. Tim Patrick has had pretty much a coming out party the past couple of weeks. He's been playing much better in the past month. 2 touchdowns finally last week. This game is going to be a shootout. I don't expect much defense. Don't go to the bathroom during the game. Do not make something to eat. Do not get something to drink out of your fridge, because this is going to be one of those games where don't blink, because there's going to be a lot of points. And I'm going to be screaming my head off tomorrow like I normally do at this football game. And I expect a win. I'm not picking the Lions to lose this football game. There's no way I can. I think there's a lot of people not giving us a shot, and that's okay. There's analysts that are, but I think there's still a feeling out there that people just don't believe, and I don't really understand it. It's probably because of the injuries. We got guys coming back though. We don't got main guys coming back like Anzalone, Hutchinson, Barnes. We don't got those guys that coming back, but we got guys coming back that are fillers, that are pieces of the rotation. So you know what I mean. It's going to be one of those games where a shootout. So I think this game is literally going to be prediction 34-37 Detroit Lions. I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the 40s each for either team though. But I'm going to say 34-37 Detroit Lions. Hell of a game, and I'm looking forward to it. And I think the Lions, I don't think they've been 13-1. I don't know if it's been ever. I saw a meme today, or whatever the hell those things are called, a graphic. And I could have swore it said the Lions haven't been 13-1 in a long, long time or ever at all. I'm sure they have been. They've had 13 wins in a season. Maybe they haven't been 13-1 though. Maybe they haven't been 13-1 at one point. And I think it was like small company with Dan Campbell. Like Bill Walsh was in there. Was it Bill Belichick? I think something like that. There were some guys in there that were like, some legendary coaches. And I'm not putting Campbell in that group, but I'm just saying, man, there's historic moments that can happen tomorrow if we win this football game. And I think we are. I think we're just built for these type of games. I love it. I'm excited for this year. This is a game. If we win this game, guys, we could possibly run the whole rest of the table. Even if we lose this game tomorrow, and I'm not saying we are, even if we lose, I think we're still in a good position. But we're winning this game. We're winning this game, guys. So that's it, guys. Thanks for the video. Thanks for coming in and watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button at the bottom right. Don't forget the notification bell up top. Don't forget to like, comment, shout. Give me a shout out, man. Share it. Like, comment, share. Do all that stuff, all that good stuff for YouTube views and all that. Just come check me out on YouTube. I really appreciate it, guys. Detroit versus everybody. Got that grit. Let's go, baby. Beating the Bills tomorrow. Boom.